Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet an inspiring young artist who is bringing attention to men's mental health through her art. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, there's been a lot in the news in the last year or so about the mental health pandemic, the one that followed the actual pandemic. But when it comes to men, some men are afraid to raise their hand and say, I'm struggling with something. It could just be a macho attitude. But someone who is really paving the way for men to talk about their situation is Kendramia Prestage. She is with the Healing Atom Project. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate being here. It's very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, tell us more about the project.
So the Healing Atom Project is about bringing awareness to men's mental health through art. We want to give men a chance to just breathe, relax in a safe space, and finally know that your voice is being heard, and we're doing our part to express that through art, and actually wanting to bring other individuals on board to play a part in telling the story as well.
We're going to pull up your website because I find what you're doing is very fascinating. As we pull up the website, look at this. Now, is this digital? Is this actually on their face?
So it's not actually on their face. It is all digital. I originally wanted to do it on their face, but I was like, I think this would be really cool for me to branch out my skills as an artist, learn something new, have a background in graphic design. And I said, let me just try something new. And I amazed myself. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at an individual for the first time, are you able to kind of see the canvas and what you want to put on their face?
I actually am, yes. So I listened to a snippet of some of the guys talking, and based on that information that I heard, I was able to quickly pull a few things that they weren't saying and able to translate over to digital, yes.
All right, tell me one of your favorite stories so far.
So one of my favorite stories is with Jason, and I met Jason just off the whim, and he came into the campus that I work with, and we just had a talk about voting and just about life things. We talked for about 2 hours, and I just asked him, hey, would you like to be a part of this project? And he said yes, and it went from there. And the thing that I appreciate about Jason is he had a car accident later that week, but it didn't stop him from being a part of this project and being willing to tell his part of the story in Healing Atom as well.
Yes. We've got some video from a photo shoot that you did not too long ago, and we're going to pull that up. And as we're looking at the video, I want you to talk about why you're drawn to this. What is it about men's mental health that really interests you?
So what's drawn me to this is the grief and the loss that I've experienced in life, and watching others kind of go through the same thing, and just really wanting to bring healing to individuals through art. You know, art always tells a different story, a different perspective. And so I feel like I didn't want to be another person complaining or just saying, oh, there is a problem. So, okay, well, here's a solution. How can we start a new conversation around this topic and begin to see each other as human beings and not just men, women, because it's bigger than that. Yeah.
And do you find that the men finally become comfortable and vulnerable and they share stuff that they haven't shared before?
Yes, they do. They become extremely comfortable. They're talking about things that they have not said out loud. And so it's good to for them to finally get some peace and relief in those areas. Yes.
And there are times when men don't feel comfortable talking to their girlfriend or wife or kids, and they have no one to talk to. And it's so important to get it out, isn't it?
Oh, yes, very important. Yes, and just from my experience working with my brothers and cousins and the men in my life, to just get it out they can do so much. They finally get to see their world in a whole new light, and that's what we want to do. We just want them to see there is a better way.
I want to give a shout out to a mutual friend of ours, Sherry James.
Yes.
She has an amazing ministry herself. Tell me about Sherry and how your project kind of overlaps with what she's trying to do.
So one, Sherry has been awesome to me. She kind of just took me by the wings and was like, hey, I'm going to help you fly. And so her focus on mental health and about the health of the body and seeing it from different cultures and different individuals talk about it is something that will go far. We can do a lot. It's just her passion behind mental health and taking a step out on her own to really focus on this is something that motivates me to do something different in life and to really step out on my own at some point to really make a difference and go around the world with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So you hinted about going around the world. Is that how big can you dream? Where do you see this all headed?
Everywhere. Anywhere I can step my foot on land or water, ice, grass, it doesn't matter. I want to go. And I say that because it's not about color. It's not about classification. It's about the world. How Healing Adam is about healing the world, getting back to God's original design where we all love each other and we understand each other. And why not?
Yeah. And I know your faith is important to you. It's all over your website. Talk a little bit about your faith.
So my faith has gotten me through so many things, ups and downs, things that I don't understand. I even wrote a book called Journey to 31, A Road to Discovery. And I talk about the things that I've experienced and the thoughts that I've had to receive to find peace in those areas, to know that God will always work it out, no matter what it is, no matter who it is. It's not about me, it's about Him. If what I'm doing isn't pleasing Him, He will bring it to a halt. And I have to understand that it happens and to keep going and to keep trying, and He will be there every step of the way.
Okay, we're almost out of time. So final thoughts. Maybe speak to the man out there who's watching this video who is struggling with something. What do you want to say to that person?
So to the man that's out there struggling, I just want to say your voice is being heard. We love you. We appreciate you. And there's always a space for you, of course, at Healing Adam. But it's okay to create your own space as well. Begin to tell your own story. And that's how I got to Healing Adam is I wanted to step out and tell my own narrative, rewrite the narrative and tell people who I am and not let others speak for me. And so that's what I would say.
Outstanding. What a great show. We're going to end with her website, which is healingadam.com. Thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.